This is a problem about the folly of one young college student as she used her credit card in a very immature way. So let's take a look at this. Mimi, the college student, foolishly used her credit card to buy lots of clothes and makeup. Then Mimi's car broke down and she also had to buy textbooks. Since she had no money for either the car repair or the textbooks, which is why she used her credit card to buy clothes and makeup, Mimi had to use her credit card to pay for the car repair and textbooks too. Now she owes $2,000 on her credit card. Here are the particulars about her credit card. Her credit card has an APR, or annual percentage rate, of 18%. So that means every year she has something she owes on her credit card, she'd have to pay 18% of that to the credit card company. That means 1.5% interest is added every month to what she owes. The minimum monthly payment is 2% of what she owes, or $35, whichever is larger. So when what she owes drops below $1,750, she will start paying $35 a month instead of 2% of what she owes, since 2% of $1,750 is $35. And once it drops below that, she'll continue to pay $35 every month. Each month, the interest is added first, then her payment is subtracted. Since she has no money, Mimi can only afford to make the minimum monthly payment. How long will it take her to pay all that she owes, assuming that she doesn't use her credit card again? Now I give you some tips here. This is going to take a long time for her to pay it off, so we're going to count kind of a year at a time, and let's just think through what we're doing here with this. So we're going to start by saying she has a debt of $2,000. It says first to add the interest, so plus the interest. Well, the interest is every month 1.5%. So we would multiply 2,000 times 0.015, and that would be the interest. Then we subtract the payment. Okay, so the payment is 2% of what she owes. Well, she owes all of this. Okay, she owes the original 2,000 plus the interest. This turns out to be $30 right here. 15% of 2,000 is $30. So now she really owes $2,030. So we're going to take 0.02 times all of this. And I'm going to write it out like this just to say this is so this is just saying we took all of this money, added interest, and then we subtract 2% of that, and that's the payment. So let's just do this on the calculator and figure out this is $2,000. This is actually $2,000 plus 30. This is $2,030. Let's figure out what the other piece of this is. So I'm going to do this on the calculator, and just to verify that what I said was true, 0.015 times 2,000. There's the 2,030. The payment is 2% of that whole amount. So 0.02, and I'm going to just grab this and capture it and put it in here. The payment is $40.60. So now we're going to take the 2,030 minus the $40.60, and now this is what she owes. And then we're going to go through the process again. So we're going to take what she owes plus 0.015 of what she owes. Okay. That would give me $2,019.24. And then I'm going to subtract the payment. The payment is going to be 0.02 times what she owes. Okay, so that's all of this. Or I could have put the $2,019.24. I'm doing this for a reason, though, to establish a pattern. So now she's going to pay about $40.38. So I'm going to take what she owes, this amount here, minus the payment, and now that's what she owes. So let's look at this series of numbers here. Okay, so she starts out, and I think I'm just going to copy this and put it back in the document so I can write on it. Okay, so let's look at what has happened so far. Okay, so we add interest. Now it's $2,030 minus this is the payment, and this is the new balance, or the new amount that she still owes. I want you to notice something about the difference between these two numbers. She borrowed $2,000. She still owes $1,989.40. She only paid off $10.60 of her debt, because the other $30 of her payment went to pay the interest that was added. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Kind of extend this up a little bit here. So now we add the interest. Okay, so we added interest to this, and now she owes $2,019.24. So still above the original amount. So this is plus the interest again. And then we have the payment. And now here's what she owes next. So now we've dropped down about another $11. So once again, she's paid a total of over $80, but she only paid off $22 of her debt. Okay, you see what's going on here? So you can see it's going to take a while for her to pay off her debt doing this. So let's see how we could combine all this together in our calculator. So this is why I wrote it the way I did. So let's put together this piece and this piece. We're saying the original amount, $2,000, plus the interest, 0.015 times 2,000, minus 0.02 times all of this. 2,000 plus 0.015 times 2,000. So so what I'm going to do is, that's the process I'm going to use every time. Once I get my answer turned out to be 1989.4. Now you can see I did the same thing. I did 1989.4 plus 0.015 times 1989.4 minus, and then in this line here, 0.02 times 1989.4 plus 0.015 times 1989.4, and then we get our next amount, which was, when we subtracted this minus this, we ended up with 1,978.86, etc. So now what I want to do is do the same process to this new balance. So what we're going to do on the calculator is, every place that we're entering this number here, we're going to put answer in here. We're going to put the answer right here. Now this can be condensed a little bit, so let me do it this way, and then I'll show you a more condensed way to do it too. But if this makes sense to you to do it like this, this works perfectly fine. So I'm glad I did do this over again. I miscounted the second year, so we are on the second year and the second month here. Now notice at this point I have dropped below the 1750. So if I go up and grab this number, and I'm going to do a new start point. So here's my new start point. Now my rule becomes this: the answer plus 0.015 times the answers. I'm still adding that 1.5% every month, but my payment now is just a straight $35. So I'm going to subtract $35 instead of 2% of what I had. I'm going to subtract just $35. So now I'm ready for month 3. So that's month 3 of year 2. I'm sorry, of year 3. Month 3, year 3. Okay, so month 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. End of the end of the third year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. End of the fifth year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. End of the sixth year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. End of the seventh year. She still has over $1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Eighth year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ninth year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10th year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, I think I lost count somewhere along the line, and you guys probably recognize. I know this ends up being, this is the 12th month of the 10th year. So really she pays it off probably in the 11th month of the 9th year. They're almost 10 years total. So it took 119 months, maybe 120 months to pay off that last $6. A long, long time, 10 years, okay? So how much did she actually pay? That was the question. And I'm sorry about the counting. I've done this a number of times, so I know it is supposed to turn out to be 119 to 120 months. That last little bit isn't the whole $35. So kind of 119 plus months is how much it took to pay off the loan. Now, how much money did she pay total? Well, every month her payment was either $35 or slightly more than $35. So at first she was paying a little more than $35. So let's just say, for the sake of being, just an estimate, let's say she paid 120 months of $35. That's even probably less than she paid. So calculating that, 120 times 35, and realize she paid slightly more than this. That's $4,200. Okay, so even a conservative estimate, she paid $2,200 in interest. She paid off her loan, and she had to pay an extra $2,200 for borrowing that money and paying only a minimum payment for all those years. Now, what would realistically have happened to Mimi? My guess is that Mimi was a college student when she did that, so my guess is probably after college, and when she got a real job, she probably, if she was a responsible person, she probably paid this off early. She probably said, oh, I still owe, $1,500, so I'll just pay more. Maybe I'll pay $100 a month or something and pay it off. Or maybe she got some graduation money and decided to pay it all off and just, get done with it. So that might have happened. The other thing that might have happened is maybe Mimi is a spendthrift and she's irresponsible and she's paying on this credit card debt, but she still wants to buy stuff, so she goes and buys more stuff. And now she has maybe 2 or 3 credit cards and she owes $2,000 or $3,000 on each one, and she can't pay them off because she doesn't have any money. And so now she has $10,000 worth in debt, $15,000 worth of debt, and it's hanging over her head, and she's still making these minimum payments, and she never pays it off because she keeps spending. There's actually people that do that. So I wanted you to be aware of the dangers of buying something on credit when you don't have enough money to pay it off. Now, sometimes there's an emergency and you just have to do that, and pay it off as best you can. But most people get into credit card problems just because they can't say no to something they want, and they buy it when they can't afford it. So how can you use credit cards responsibly? Open a checking account and have some money in your checking account, or even a savings account. You could do this with either one, and keep a record. So let's say you have $500 in your checking account, and you go out and on your credit card you spend $50 to buy something. Okay, so you're going to subtract it, and what you do is, on paper you write down and say, I only have $450 left to spend now. And then let's say you spend, use your credit card and you spend $15, and you're going to say, okay, now I only have $435 left to spend. And you do that every time you make a purchase, and when you're done, you still have that $500 in your checking account, but you have subtracted off what's available to you to use. And when your credit card bill comes in, you have already subtracted off what you're going to pay back to the credit card company, so you know you have enough money to do it. That's the responsible way to use a credit card, and I really highly recommend that you be responsible in your use of credit, because getting into debt can be a slavery to you as a young adult. So be responsible, use your credit cards responsibly, and I hope you learned a little fun math from this too.